the precision guy, the precision management geekster, and we're standing in front of a piece of hardware here that's called the Veris machine. And I'm going to give you my rendition of what I think this machine does, and I'm sure Mr. Cleaver here will give you a much better explanation of what this machine actually does. From my perspective, as you can see, it's hooked up to a truck. On the truck we have some GPS, and this thing goes up and down the field, and through these discs it measures electrical conductivity of the field, essentially. Okay. And for me as an agronomist, walking fields, electrical conductivity to me, at least in this application, means a couple of things. Electrical conductivity is about measuring salt in the soil, but for this machine in particular, it's more about measuring soil texture. So low readings equate to sandier soils, higher readings equate to heavier clay soils. So you have a whole range of EC readings. Basically, to oversimplify it, it's about reading texture of the soil across fields. But in reality, it is also about measuring some of the salts that are in the field as well. And so with a little bit of dot connection, knowing a little bit about soil texture and soil salts and EC readings, and Justin's going to talk a little bit more about how this thing actually does that. You can start connecting some dots, which yesterday, for example, we had a field where we were actually walking out there that had been mapped with the Veris machine. We went to specific sites in the field, and what we found is in the areas that had the lowest CEC, or the lowest EC, I guess, the sandier soils, sulfur deficiency was rampant. As we moved from the low ECs to the higher ECs, the sulfur deficiency completely disappeared. And that all makes sense because sulfur deficiency is going to occur in areas that have the lowest organic matter, the sandiest soils, because sulfate is mobile. It usually occurs in the higher elevations where normally we find the lighter soils in many cases. And in the lower areas where the EC went up, the texture of the soil was higher. There was more clay in the soil, so less risk to leaching loss. Organic matter levels were higher as well, so you have more sulfur availability from the organic matter as it breaks down. And it all made perfect sense. And